안녕하세요. In this video, I wanted to check out the concept trailers for the upcoming ITZY album. They are going to release a track here soon. I think it's like maybe in a couple of weeks, and then I believe the album is supposed to drop on the end of the month, on like the 31st or something. If I remember that correctly. There's so many releases like this month even, right? There's like a ton of things coming out, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Maybe this will include some of the dates there, because I know there's one more track coming out before the actual album itself drops. And ITZY, man, you know, I feel a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement for the new album, because you know, everything's like the Bet on Me track was really good, and everything looks really like incredible. You know, they're kind of, like I said, all grown up, and it's just it's a good thing to watch. You know what I mean? Like it's a feel good thing. You know, like it's just watching ITZY sort of make that hit that point. You know what I mean? And I actually started just this week. I decided to pick up a couple of the Bubble Live subscriptions for ITZY. I decided, okay, I could get a couple. I could do this, right? So I have some for Twice, and then I was like, let me pick up some for ITZY, because I was just kind of curious, you know what I mean, to see what they would have to say, or you know what I mean, like just how it would be. And so I ended up subscribing to Ryujin and Chaeyoung, right? I love all of ITZY. I think they're great, but Chaeyoung was like the first one, like my first bias, I guess, for ITZY, and then Ryujin is the absolute bias wrecker. Like, you know, they're she's really cool. They're both really cool. Ryujin and Chaeyoung, they're both really, you know, exceptionally good, as the whole group is. But I wanted to see, like, what do they say? What, you know what I mean? Like if they're on Bubble, like what do they? Because I have an idea for Twice. You know what I mean? Even the ones that I don't have yet, the subscription. So I really haven't like swapped any of them out. I just kind of stay with the same ones. But people will post their Bubble updates all the time on like Instagram and Twitter especially, so you get a good idea for what they will say, or kind of what they talk about, or how they do things. So I was really curious about ITZY, and what I have seen just in you know, the past few days, they're very sweet. They're very like they really try to have this connection with MIDZY. You know, they for example, they'll around, I guess, when they eat dinner, probably, or maybe it's lunch, the time difference here, you know what I mean? So it's, I think maybe about the time they're eating lunch, or sometimes dinner, but they'll get on and they'll send a message, and they'll say, you know, make sure you guys are eating well. You know, that's they'll send pictures of the food, and they'll say, I ate very well today, and they'll remind you to make sure that you eat. And then Chaeyoung, I've seen her posts. She's very consistent, and she's really just a very kind person. Like I guess at the beginning of the day, you know, she'll send a message and say hello, and she'll, you know, always says like, have a nice day. And then at the end of the day, she sends a message, and she'll say what she did. You know, she's like, oh, I did this today or something, and then she'll say, and you worked really hard today too, you know. And then she'll always, like, at the end of the night, she'll say good night. You know, it's like really just, it's very down to earth, and it's just very sweet, right? Like they're really just such a sweet group of people, you know. And so it's interesting. It's very cool. I wanted to support them a little bit more. So that's kind of the route that I went. But then I also said, man, they've been dropping all of these, you know, it says they're content clips. So I guess it's similar to or concept clips rather. So I guess it's similar to like teasers, or they're sort of giving a little bit of like what the concept is, right? And so I was like, well, let me check this out. Let me see, what they're up to, right? Because it'd be interesting. Let's see here. So it's interesting sounds. Like at first I'm like, what are these, what is this sound that they're using? It's very sort of like gravelly, almost kind of like an industrial type of a sound or feeling. Ryujin, man, they look so pretty, right? The boxing gloves, right? So some of this element is really sort of glam, right? It's like it's very sort of that type of vibe, and then the other aspect is sort of sporty or even fighty, like I mean, since it's boxing gloves and everything, and I mean, it's a nice style for. They've always had a little bit of that type of a mix, right? Like it's almost like glam punk a little bit, like so, a little bit, of both mixed together to kind of give their sort of style or their vibe or their take on things, So it's a very cool shoot, right? So it's even like shots like this, where you get to see this camera. This stuff is cool. I mean, just like to get sort of nerdy for a minute here. This stuff is cool. This crane camera right here, like on a stabilizer, and man, my good, like the resolution on this, obviously it's incredible because you can see some of these shots up close. They're just, man, they're fantastic. And we got a color change here on like a filter change here. Also black and white. So it's a very like it's a mix, right, of everything, like across all the sort of aspects and elements. There's a lot of different things, even with the way that this is shot and everything. It's a little bit more dramatic lighting here. This has always been interesting to me too, because I like it. You see this. I've seen this with a lot of groups, right, where they do these shoots and they have them on this. It's like they're in a cube almost, right? Like the sort of platform here. What you have is the base, right? That is basically like a cube or a slab, kind of, but it's obviously got the dimensions of a square on the base of it, and then the overhead one has the same thing. And it's so what's really going on with that is that between these two shapes, the top and the bottom, there's not actually a cube there, but you see this pattern, this very recognizable pattern, and your mind actually, draws out the cube shape that's there. I actually I took this philosophy course. It was a philosophy of science course, and we looked at these sort of geometrical illustrations, or however, and this is one of the things that pops up, and it has to do with perception a lot. And so your intuition, or what your sort of recognize, right, is one thing, and but it's not actually there. It's a suggestion of it, and then you kind of like fill in the blank, I guess, if you will, and so they're positioned in the middle of that space, right? It's an interesting thing, and it's like I've seen it with many groups. Many groups do similar shoots like that. So let's check out the second clip. Oh, see, music right from the start now. Different sound. So much more color. It's so neons and pastels. Completely different tone. So bright. See, I like the sound. I do. Fuzzy guitar distortion. Oh, bass actually. Fuzzy bass distortion. That was a great bass line actually, especially right at the end. Da-da-da-da. It sounded so wonky once it just did that little lick at the end there. Again, you see that space, right? It's still there. Like they're still in this cube space, although it's actually sort of defined here with some of the structure of this. And then I guess these things are like punching bags. I mean, that's what they look like, but I don't see punching bags with these kinds of like what do you call it? Like what is this called? Oh man, like fringe, or like, you know what I mean? That this stringy stuff that's hanging off here. So again, the sort of glamorous, like fashiony type of thing mixed with the sporty combat like type of, you know what I mean, like the boxing gloves and the outfits, and then this one's like these punching bags that have like the almost like streamers or these little like fringe like things on here. This is another it's you know, another like use of that type of combination there of these two different ideas, but the colors so different now, right? And they're completely like glammed out. Like this isn't, they don't look too very, like they're not leaning into the sporty thing. See, this is why Ryujin is such a wrecker. Wow, holy moly, she looks incredible, man. Jeez, oh my goodness. Wow. I was gonna say wow. And Yuna looking very pretty. It's like it, you know, they're much more sort of posh, right? Like it's they had that too in the first one, but the color is so different here. And I see the space, like it actually does start to fill in the cube shape by adding the corners, right? That's what's going on. And then you have this cube pattern with the light panels over the top. These must be LED panels up here. This is all of this is like built from scratch. Again, just to get nerdy with it, right? Like this is thought up and drawn up, and then, you know, like, oh, let's get the drills and let's get those LED panels. Like it's gonna go like this. It's fun stuff. It's like really fun production stuff. See, the makeup, you know what I mean? Like it's very glam. It's very sort of, you know, which is cute. It's cute. They look great. They look fantastic, man. Dude, Ryujin is such a biased record, dude. She's such a, like, oh my goodness, man, that's incredible. The brightness, right? Like there was more shadows and more. The background wasn't even really lit in the first teaser. Now it's like boom, like light everywhere. You have light bouncing off of the backdrop. You know, this fill lighting, and then the strong key lighting, a strong overhead lighting too. That's important because it really defines the actual the top of the shoulders, the top of the head. All this stuff is, you know, gets an outline, a much sharper outline when you have light actually coming down as opposed to just from the front. You know, Jeez. Jeez. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Man, I really enjoyed the sound too. Like now, it's getting much more like, you know, like right from the start. There's this incredible bass line with fuzz distortion on it, little punchy percussion to accompany that. It's getting fun, man. It's getting fun. Whoa. Again, different, like everything. Oh, stand-up bass. Oh, the oh, staccato strings. Crazy. What a, like, man, what, like, see another dramatic shift now, man. Now we have this I don't know what the term for this is, right, where there's like certain most of it's in the black and white, but then there are certain colors that are brought out. I forget the terminology for this, but there is a way for describing that type of composition, the color shot composition, the image composition. And again, it changes up the entire feel of everything, the entire tone of everything. More sporty, right? Like definitely, this stuff looks a lot more sort of meant for like movement, dynamic movement. My goodness, dude. What I think this is, this is boxing ring ropes, kind of, I think, which is interesting because it's still keeping that square space. It's still doing that. It's just much more implied now. It's kind of like framed in a different way. My goodness, dude. She's killing this. Like, Ryujin is absolutely just destroying this. Genji looks so soft. It looks incredibly soft. Whoa. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool style. Yuna. You want to accent Yuna. You want to accent all their eyes, but Yuna, right? She has this big eyes, man. It's just, like, it's crazy. Oh, look at Leah. Oh, she looks so like sharp in this, right? Like cause she's not the youngest, but she has such a baby face, right? And she's still soft here, but she's got a little bit of edge, right? Like the braids, the bangs, kind of, and then the hair being up, and then this chain she's wearing, and all this, the angle, like she's got a little. They gave her a little bit of bite, right? Like she doesn't look like the little innocent baby face in here. She looks a little bit stronger. With this studded like leather sleeveless get up here, this vest right here, like that's cool. That's very cool stuff. And the sound too. This sound was wild, dude. You had like, so you have stand-up bass going, right? You can hear the absolute timbre of these instruments, right? It's like a room session. You got stand-up bass going. You've got the bongos, right? Like or the like somebody hitting it's percussion with their hands, right? And then you have that staccato strings, dunk, 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 dunk. It's very jazzy, very like some sort of dance style, you know what I mean? Almost like a tango. It's like, it's really cool. The individual instrument sounds were really, really incredible. Oh man, and then adding the color. Jeez Louise, dude. My goodness, dude. She's, oh my goodness. She's an absolute bias wrecker, but they're freaking gorgeous, man. Look at this. Holy moly. It's so cool. It's so cool. See the, okay, yeah, it's a boxing ring like setup kind of. And these are like punching bags that have absolutely been gutted, like punched so hard that they finally just burst, and all the insides poured out there. They're sort of deflated. Um, Again, very, very cool. Very cool stuff. Oh, look at the gloves. I just noticed that. This sort of see, it's this total like glam punk thing, right? Like the fingerless gloves with these jewel sort of inset things on the fingers. It's very cool, man. It's a great way to play to that concept. And concept clip 4. Different now. Very different. Oh my. Totally different now. The space is no longer the cube. Now it's round. Right now it's circular. This is the locker room sort of setup. So it's still this training thing. Like the motive here is like we're training, we're preparing, almost like a fight camp. Like we're gonna have to get the practice time in, the sparring time. Drill some things, some stuff on the bag, drill some other technical stuff, and then they're sort of getting ready for a fight. But a total different color change now, right? Again, it's very bright, but we've gone with basically a black and white sort of color palette here, right? So a very just like a straightforward contrast as far as that goes. Very glam, right? It's like totally. This is a bit more edgy, a bit more punky, right? But still quite sleek, right? Overall, a very sleek look. The hat's kind of the sportiness of it there. Chair Young. Man, dude. Sheesh. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. This is very, very cool. What, like, okay. I have to, hold on. I need a wider shot of the outfit. Okay, these are crazy, dude. Okay. So this is, we have Yuna on the left here. Her outfit is real, like, concise. I mean, it works. It fits together well. Those shoes, the boots there, they're very industrial, right? Whereas the rest of the outfit's very sleek. Yeji, she's got the hat again, the hat and the shoes, like these sort of Adidas like heels here or whatever. This kind of take there. Again, that sporty element mixed with a little bit of glam, right? Hers is interesting because I'm like, what? It looks like, she's got the dress, right? She's got the skirt, and then she's got the shoes, and then I was like, it looks like a knee wrap, right? Like a wrestler would wear. You know what I mean? Like it's The buckles on this are pretty cool too. That's a nice little accent there. uh Ryujin, oh my goodness, was this uh the so again, very sleek with the main outfit, um and then the shoes, right? The laces of the big sort of Chuck Taylor type of style there on the shoes, and then cool pants, like Chaeyoung's pants. Those are cool. The star, um, and then the wristband here. But it's got that's sort of like the concept, right? Is mixing these two things together, the sort of sporty fight side with the very glamorous and some posh and a little bit girly side as well. Like that's apropos. Um, oh, oh my goodness, dude! The eyes. What the heck, dude? I can't remember if that's like if her, cause the eyes, man, the eyes. Jeez. Oh my goodness, dude. That's it. That look. Yeesh. Yeesh. But it's a very cool way to synthesize those two sort of stylistic ideas together. Oh, and how about the sound too, right? Like extremely minimalist, big sort of space, lots of reverb. This clicky percussion that's going on, very sort of narrow and like with not much bass, but the the sort of reverb on it gives it like a whole lot of body, a whole lot of sustain. Um, it's difficult to tell anything from the sounds that are used in these types of clips, as it's like it's primarily intended for the clips, so it's not necessarily an indication of the album sounds, but very cool, man. Like very, very cool, right? They are just looking ready, man. Like they're ready. They're ready for a fight. This is the whole idea. Like the larger sort of concept. It's very cool. It's very cool. I'm looking forward to to this album, man. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm gonna take the time out just to check out this album here. And there's gonna be the Bet on Me. We check that out, and then there's going to be one more video for sure. I know at least that should drop like just before the album drops, like a few days before then, roughly a week, and then the actual album itself will drop. But it's looking like it's going to be really, really good. The Bet on Me track, that's it's a really, really awesome, man. Like I totally enjoy this direction that they're taking things in. And so just like with the Misamo trailers and all of that, right? Like trying to put some of this stuff together, and just trying to get an idea for perhaps what is in store, right, for the album. But it's looking very, very cool, man. I really, really like ITZY. They're such a great group, man, and I just want to give some more attention to them. You know what I mean? Like send a little bit more support their way. I think this album is going to do really well, and then let's see like what the direction from there, like that. You know what I mean? Like this, I think it can give them an awful lot of momentum, and we'll see. We'll see what else they come up with later on. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So that was fun. These things are like they certainly build up the hype. It's like, oh man, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to check this out.